Jacy, Sheldon, and Marina Mabrey get hit with lifetime bans, and now they're out here exposing the league, saying they were paid by Cathy Engelbert to take out Caitlin Clark? You can't make this up. But wait, it gets even crazier. Turns out the referees were in on it too. Yep, these aren't just bad calls anymore, they were getting paid off. Straight from the top. From Cathy freakin Engelbert herself. The same woman who goes on TV talking about protecting players and growing the game. Yeah, she was out here cutting checks like a mob boss. And Sheldon and Mabrey, two glorified role players who couldn't hit a shot to save their careers, decided the best way to stay relevant was to play dirty and get a payday. They weren't hooping, they were out here doing hit jobs in a jersey. And the refs? Calling techs on Caitlin for breathing too loud while letting elbows fly like it's UFC? Come on now, that's not bad officiating, that's a setup. This ain't basketball anymore. This is corruption in sneakers. And let's break down how deep this goes because the WNBA just got exposed in the worst way. Not just play physical, paid. As in directly instructed to go after the WNBA's biggest star. And here's the wildest part. They're saying the money didn't come from some shady outside influence. It came from Cathy Engelbert, the commissioner herself. This isn't just drama anymore. This is sabotage from the top. And it gets even dirtier because they didn't just stop with the players. According to them, the referees were in on it too. The blown calls, the techs against Clark, the ignored cheap shots. Suddenly it all makes sense. Have you ever seen a league turn on its own superstar like this? Seriously, what's the end game here? Why would Cathy want Caitlin Clark, the literal face of the league, to be the target? Something smells rotten. June 18th was supposed to be just another game. Indiana Fever versus Connecticut Sun. But it turned into a disaster class in how not to run a professional league. You've probably seen the clip by now. Jacy Sheldon jabs Caitlin Clark right in the eye. Not once, twice. And this wasn't no casual bump. It was targeted, dirty, flat out malicious. And just when it looked like things couldn't get worse, Marina Mabrey decided to put Clark on the floor like it was WrestleMania, during a dead ball. I mean, who even does that? Let me ask you this. If LeBron James got tackled during a timeout, what do you think would happen? The league would be in DEFCON 1. Press conferences, suspensions, investigations. But here, the WNBA acted like it was just another day at the office. Does that sound right to you? This wasn't a rivalry. This wasn't intensity. This was a hit job, and it looked like everyone on that court knew it. Now here's where things take a dark turn. Those referees that night, the ones who watched Clark get mauled and then gave her the technical? Yeah, apparently, they weren't clueless. They were paid off. According to leaked texts and insider chatter, Cathy Engelbert didn't just greenlight the physical play she allegedly told the refs to let it slide. Actually instructed them to keep the game rough and contain Clark. Container? That's your job when a player is dominating the league? If this is true and all signs point that way, we're not talking about bad officiating anymore. We're talking about corruption, a coordinated takedown from the inside. Remember when Clark got called for excessive celebration after a game-winning three? But Sheldon gets to poke someone in the eyeball and walk away? You ever felt like a game was rigged while you were watching it? Because this felt rigged. So how did Mabrey and Sheldon respond? Oh, you're gonna love this. Marina Mabrey was caught on camera laughing at the entire situation like it was some kind of joke. Mocking fans, calling people delusional, acting like the whole thing was just another Tuesday. She wasn't remorseful. She wasn't even defensive. She was straight up bold about it. And when people asked for accountability, she said, they can't handle the truth. And Jacy Sheldon? She went radio silent. Like not a single word, not even a repost. Just disappeared into the shadows. Why the silence, Jacy? Are you hiding? Or did someone tell you to keep your mouth shut? Then the bomb drops lifetime bans. Not just for the violence, but because they talked. Because they admitted it was all part of a larger plan. The message from the league? Don't snitch. But guess what? The truth's already out and fans are listening now. You know who we haven't really talked about enough? Cathy freakin Engelbert, the WNBA commissioner, the woman who's supposed to be protecting the league and its players. The one who goes on TV talking about empowerment and growth. But behind the scenes, she's allegedly cutting checks like a mob boss. She's the reason Clark got targeted. She's the reason the refs looked the other way. She's the reason Sheldon and Mabrey thought they'd never get caught. Why would she do this? Simple. Power. Clark's popularity is rising so fast, the league can't keep up. Cathy wanted to slow her down, prove the league doesn't revolve around just one player. But guess what? It kinda does right now. And instead of embracing it, she tried to break it. Let's stop pretending. Caitlin Clark is the WNBA right now. The numbers don't lie. She's selling out arenas, breaking viewership records, moving merch like it's the playoffs every week. When she got injured, the ratings dipped. When she came back, boom, 2.2 million viewers. One of the highest in league history. And yet, she's the one being punished, mocked, targeted. Is that how you treat your superstar? Clark isn't just a good player. She's the reason millions are finally watching the WNBA. So why is she getting treated like a villain in her own league? Here's the scary part. If this scandal gets swept under the rug, if Cathy Engelbert stays in charge, what message does that send? It tells players that they're disposable. It tells fans that truth doesn't matter. It tells Caitlin Clark that even after everything she's brought to the league, she's on her own. And honestly, she might leave. You think Europe wouldn't roll out the red carpet for her? With more pay, more respect, and way less drama? So here's the question. If Clark walks, how many fans walk with her? Look, this ain't just about basketball anymore. This is about integrity, about protecting players, about calling out a system that's broken at the highest level. If Cathy Engelbert really paid off refs and players to target Caitlin Clark, she needs to go. Not tomorrow, not next season. Now, because if the WNBA doesn't act fast, it's gonna lose more than just Clark. It'll lose the trust of every fan who believed in this league. So now I ask you, do you believe this was just a coincidence? Or was Caitlin Clark set up? Hit that like button if you stand with Clark. Drop a comment if you think Engelbert should resign. And don't forget to subscribe because we're not done telling the truth.